Hey guys, I'm Matt the Woodshed Barber, and today we're doing a review on pretty much one that's been a long time coming. The StyleCraft Instinct X. So, the StyleCraft Instinct X. I know it's been out for like 7, maybe 6 months. I don't know exactly when it came out, but it's been out for a while. I've had it for a while, and honestly, I've had so much stuff going on, I forgot to do a review on it. So, this is mine. As you can see, it's got a grip on it. We'll get to that later.
Pop the hood. 2JZ engine, no shit.
The power of this thing is exactly what you expect it to be. It's just like the Instinct. It's got that vector motor. Revs up whenever it gets resistance. It's a powerful clipper. When it comes to the power on these clippers, you can't top it. It's about as good as it can get. Nothing slows this tool down. So, power, super strong. Does come with a charging dock, which is a perk. It also comes with micro USB, not Type-C. That stinks. I think that every company should go with Type-C from now on, but you know, it is what it is. My guess is that this was just cheaper. It does have 4 hours of battery life, which, let's be real, I mean, like for a tool of this power to have 4 hours, it's pretty impressive. I mean, I know the JRL right now and the T-Pod Play both boast the best battery life for a tool of its size, caliber not included, but with 5 hours. But on their highest speed, it's probably around 4 hours, so comparable to this. But for power, guys, I gotta go 10 out of 10. So the blade, this was kind of a disappointment. You know, StyleCraft was the first to come out with that Vapor style blade, which I can do my own rant on that. I've done it before, but it's the same blade profile as a fade blade. It just has the grooves in it. So it's not a different cutting length than the fade blade. It just has the grooves for cooling. So say what you will, I like the grooves more than not. But once again, it's just a fade blade. And honestly, for a tool of this price, which we'll get into here in a little bit, I'd expect maybe blade options in the box. This did not have that. But the blade that comes on it, it's fine. It's got that super thin blade with a deep tooth, which thank goodness they're doing away with the shallow tooth of that format. It's a useless blade. But the deep tooth is what comes on it, which is good. But I just would expect more, at least more options. So on the blade, I'm gonna have to say it's a 6 out of 10.
You're in dire need of an upgrade. Systemic, top to bottom.
Now, the Instinct, some people hated it, some people loved it. Me personally, I loved it. It had that kind of, you know, that watch face look on it. I guess it's like the Invictus watch. I don't know. But it had a good flair, had good look to it. But some people hated it, and some people called it too small. Now, to me, I'm a dude with big hands, and they take up space whenever I'm gripping something. And so because of that, whenever I'm holding a smaller clipper, I can get these big old hands in the tighter spots. So especially for cutting like little kids' hair, I loved the Instinct. I thought it was one of the best design tools out there as far as shape, feel in the hand, all that good stuff, including the fact that it has such good power. I'm not completely dogging the design, but if you can tell, it does have an ergo, ex-ergo type shape to it. It's not as curved as those, but it's more straight, but it's got that feel to it. Now, it feels fine in the hand. It really does. It has perks. It has, you know, the click lever. You can interchange it for a floating lever. It does have the stretch bracket. Both brackets do have the filthy blend holes for an Andis blade, which you guys know, I think Andis makes the best blades on the market. So that's a perk. And I can appreciate the fact that you can customize this thing. I mean, there's so many different color options. You can do the white with the clear lid like I did. You can do the red and black. You can do the black and red. You can do the white and black. You can do so many different color combinations with this. My only problem with the design of this tool is the material. Now, we've all handled plastic clippers. Not all plastics are created equal. And something about this matte, smooth plastic that they've chosen for the entire body, and also to point out, there's no grooves, there's no markings, there's nothing to grip. So, especially considering the cost of this clipper, I felt like I owed it to myself to put a gripper on it because it's super slippery, even with gloves on. And if I dropped a clipper this expensive, it would kind of possibly give me an early death.
I've never had pains like this before. Oh, this is the worst one I ever had, son.
Yeah, the only design flaw to me, if they would have given this, I think that maybe what they thought is that they over-designed the Instinct, gave it too much personality. And so on this one, they're like, hey, let's dial back all the personality and leave it with this stick straight, super tapered handle that's really, really slippery. Honestly, in my opinion, the material that they had on the X Ergo, that plastic was fine. They probably should have put that kind of plastic on this. But I digress. That's just my opinion. But overall, I would say the design of this tool is an 8 out of 10. It could have been better, but it also could have been a lot worse. So, I'm going to go with 8 out of 10.
Because the way that my bank account is set up, the thing is, I got a checking in the savings, but all my money is in the savings. I don't think my card is going to go through.
Okay, let's get into it. The price. The price of this tool. It came out at $270.
Help me, I'm poor.
No, I make bad financial decisions.
Man, that's... I have a big problem with this. For one thing, all these new releases, it seems like, well, the predecessor to this was this price, so this one should be more expensive. That's very faulty thinking, because what's going to happen? Eventually, we're going to have $400 clippers. This one was $270, so let's make the next one $300. Well, if that was $300, let's do $350, and it's going to get out of hand.
Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
Now, it does come with options. Like I said before, it comes with options. It has several different colored, lids. It has different, taper arms. It has the stretch bracket. It has all that stuff. Even with a taper blade included and a taper blade on it, if they would have went with that route, which I think they should have, I don't know if I can justify this clipper being $270. Now, it's a great clipper. It might be, honestly, it might be one of the best clippers of the year. But to me, it's not worth the price. Now, like all clippers, when they first come out, they're going to be full price. Eventually, you can find them cheaper. My guess is if they still keep this one on the menu, and I don't know, maybe a year or so, it's probably going to be $220, $230. But $270, that's a miss. I would say pricing on this, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10.
They've done studies, 60% of the time, it works every time.
So performance. Man, like I said, it went through everything. Went through everything super easy. The sound, I will say it's loud. It's a loud tool, but that's what you're used to with a vector motor clipper. You're going to get a loud tool. So as far as performance goes, I do think that this is a great tool. It's just, is the price worth it for you? That's all I can say. Is the price worth it for you? So $270, I can think of a slew of good tools that I would put on the same category of this one that I can get for a lot cheaper. I do think that whenever it comes to this kind of caliber of tool, pretty much any of the main clippers from Babyliss is on this platform, which surprisingly are not the most expensive ones in this now. It's these. You've got, all of T-Pob's premium tools. They're all much, much cheaper and just as good, in my opinion. You've got tons of options out there. And so I do not think that this is a must buy unless you're just dying to have, an Instinct clipper that feels like an Ergo. because that's pretty much what it is. It's an Instinct clipper. It's a slippery ergo. I'm not dogging it, but I don't know if it's going to have a permanent place on my station. I think it's a great tool, but I mean, I may just pass this on to somebody else, sell it to somebody else. We'll see. It's a strong tool, but in my opinion, it's not worth that money. Well, anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this. Please click that like button, subscribe, comment down below. Let's keep those comments humble and kind. And as always, I'll check you on the next one.
The rain, it keeps on falling